This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That solo that we just kicked off the video with there was a bit of a showcase for a particular type of lick. A lick that we're going to be talking about today because it's Wednesday, and Wednesdays at the moment, as you probably know, mean it's a Learn My Licks style video. So without further ado, let's get straight into a little bit of an explanation about what was going on in that solo and what was happening in the kind of licks that we're talking about today. Here we go.
Lick explanation.
Okay, the basic principle underpinning the licks that we're going to be talking about today, the types of licks, is something called scale sequencing, which sounds like it's going to be horrendously difficult and complicated, but I promise you it isn't. It's used by literally everybody. And you think of, for instance, that blisteringly fast, that ridiculously fast run that Gary Moore did in the solo in Out in the Fields. That's scale sequencing. But then think of, and this is the one that I can demonstrate, that sort of run that Noel Gallagher puts in the Live Forever solo, you know, the one that goes... That kind of run that he puts in that solo. Again, scale sequencing. So what is it? Well, the best way to probably demonstrate the principle here is to take a look at this sort of fairly run-of-the-mill pentatonic run like this. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you're going to play that run, is just number the notes. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 positions in that scale that your fingers go to. So play positions 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then do 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. And so on. So you get this kind of thing as you kind of zigzag your way up the scale. And what goes up must come down. Whenever you're practicing any kind of scale thing, do it in both directions. I get students all the time who can play a scale perfectly in one direction and then absolutely fall to pieces when I ask them to descend the scale. So coming down, that will be... And you can work on different sort of variations of that. So, for instance, instead of maybe starting there, I'm going to start here and backtrack a little bit. So I'll get... And then... I think I actually started the solo with something like that up in this pentatonic position here. Like that. And it's a way of just running up a scale that makes it sound like you're doing something more than just running up a scale, or down it for that matter. So that was using a pentatonic idea. If you begin to add in a few more notes, then you can get a little bit more creative and do other things. And I'm going to say another scary word now. I've already said scale sequencing, which sounds, a little bit intimidating perhaps, but hopefully you've seen by now that it isn't. I'm going to mention the M word now, modes. That solo that I use at the top of the video was based either on the A minor pentatonic or in places the A Dorian mode. Now don't be scared, the Dorian mode is just basically, in this context, it's just another scale you can use for blues rock. You're probably already using it anyway. If you play pentatonic runs, say down in this position here, and if at all you include maybe this note and this note, so you get that kind of thing, congratulations, you are using a mode. That is the Dorian mode. So let's use that example here. This is like, I call it leapfrogging, because we're kind of instead of going from this note to this note, we're going to skip this note and go to this one. So we're going to go like that, and then we're going to go on to the note that we missed, and then skip this note and come to this one, and then we're going to go to this note and skip this note and go to this one. So if you, again, numbering the notes in the scale kind of is a way of doing it. So if we're thinking in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, we're going 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, like that. It's kind of, you're just leapfrogging over notes in the scale, and you can get things that sound like this. And again, I think I use something like that in the solo. Like that, just basically using a mixture of the Dorian mode and just finishing with that pentatonic thing like that. You can do it with a blues scale, doing ascending kind of thing, and this is where you can have a bit more fun with it if you want to get into the rhythmic aspect of it. If I take that Dorian mode like that, but I'm going to make it a blues scale by including this flat 5 here, so I'm going to get that, a very, very, very commonplace little bluesy kind of thing, you often get licks kind of doing that, nice sort of accessible twiddly kind of thing to put in, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're going to go up this scale starting from this C note here, and we're going to basically play ascending groups of 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, numbering the notes of the scale. And excuse me, because we're playing ascending groups of 4 to a rhythm that is based on a count of 3, because we're playing triplets here, so each beat is divided by 3. Let me just grab a metronome and I'll show you the principle here. So get rid of the add that comes up every time I open this metronome, and we'll do this at a nice kind of relaxed tempo of 90 beats per minute. Okay, so I'm getting ascending groups of 4, like that. You can hear da 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 da, 1, 2, 3, 4 in each group, but I'm going to play them rhythmically in groups of 3. So that's going to be triplets. The easy way to get the sound of a triplet in your head is just to think of the word evenly on each beat. So here's the count. So evenly, 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 evenly. Licks like that. So you can see that I'm still doing the ascending groups of 4. Like that, but they're kind of landing rhythmically in groups of 3. And you get that kind of lick coming out. You can da 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 da, like that. It's you will naturally tend to accent the first note in each group of in each group of 4 that you're playing. And because that first note that you're accenting will fall in a different place in relation to the beat each time, it gives it that sort of polyrhythmic effect, or you could call it rhythmic displacement, syncopation, lots of different names for it, but that's basically what you get. So the basic principle of these kind of licks is what we call scale sequencing, and it's just basically going up the scale or down the scale in overlapping groups of either 3 or 4. Like that. And, as I say, Noel Gallagher does this, something very similar to this on the Live Forever solo. Gary Moore did it on the Out in the Field solo. And if you use overlapping groups of 5, you can get that sort of famous Eric Johnson lick that Joe Bonamassa has sort of co-opted into his playing as well. It's a massively fun technique, and it's a way that you can just generate new licks, cool sounding licks, with relative ease. So now you know what's going on. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, there is a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track for you to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these bits and pieces and resources that go along with these YouTube lessons that I do. A massive heartfelt thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are also linked downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it useful in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. I'll just mention, as I always do, don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We have a beer and talk about music and guitars. Great way to kick off the weekend. I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.